If ever there is one driver which can propel our country to full-scale developed status, then it is through quality skills training. On that front, the Council for Technical and Vocational Education and Training, COTVET, through a Skills Development Fund, is spearheading that agenda in Ghana.
Who is going to provide the service?
And our main focus has been on mass production of garments.
There was a lot of talk about Sakawa. Are you able to use these same processes to also apprehend people?
That is correct.
Our research showed that Ghana was, I think, number 8 in the world when it comes to cybercrime.
On this program, we shall open up the SDF to you.
So SDF is here to support businesses to train their staff to be very productive.
All that we're trying to do is to build a very solid human capital base.
We shall profile beneficiaries of SDF.
We are now even positioned to train about 400 workers.
We gave them $276,000 US. There is a fund from which we are giving grants to businesses to address these challenges.
You develop these moringa plants into products like soap, creams. Okay. My name is Albert Ankra and I bring you SDF Diaries. Make a date with me on GTV. SDF is an initiative of the Government of Ghana with support from the World Bank and Danida. Good evening, lovely viewers, and welcome to the exciting, engaging edition on SDF Diaries. My name is Albert Ankra. Today we take a drive to the central regional capital of Cape Coast to visit the Cape Coast cluster of soap makers. Skills Development Fund also provides training and support in the area of skills upgrading for increased productivity, and that's why they're supporting the Cape Coast cluster of soap makers. This is a group of about 30 women who are focused on the production of liquid and cake soap. So they want to know what goes into the manufacturing of this particular product and what SDF's intervention has done for Cape Coast cluster of soap makers. Stick and stay with me, please, on SDF Diaries.
Skills upgrading in the productive sectors of the economy is one of the key focal areas of the Skill Development Fund. SDF's focus on skills upgrading is aimed at promoting competitiveness and increased productivity in the micro, small, medium, and large-scale industries in Ghana. In the central region, the market potential for locally manufactured soap is promising, thereby providing a sustainable source of livelihood to the women in Cape Coast and its environs.
Soap making has been, that industry has been in the system for quite a long time, but there are a lot of people who doesn't involve in that business. I think this is the right time for men to also involve. Oh, the market potential is very high because as when we talk about soap, it's a daily thing that a lot of people use it in our homes, hotels, schools, everywhere. Yes. When we talk of soap business, the problem is we talk of quality. Yes, and when we compare the foreign ones to our local ones, yes, it seems the foreign ones are more quality than our local ones. Yes. So what we need right now is to put a lot of quality to it. Right now we know of moringa soap, we know of Yawudi soap, and people are buying because of its quality. Yes, and I think if you read it in that way, it will boost a lot. My advice to people is to find a lot of ways to make the soap very quality, and also people to involve in that business. Yes, and I know they will get money out of it, but it's only women who are participating in those businesses. So I advise men also to involve in that business to help them a lot.
The development of local industries
is a prerequisite for a sustained economic growth and development agenda in Ghana. This is in view of the fact that the majority of people are employed in the informal sector in industry. In many cases, the key challenges confronting the development of such local industries is the lack of adequate skills to make those industries competitive, as well as the lack of capacity to adapt to new technologies. The Skills Development Fund is here to support in the adoption of skills and innovative technology for the development and growth of industry. One of such industries which the Skills Development Fund targets is the indigenous soap making industry. The indigenous soap making industry is a vibrant industry in rural Ghana. Today we are in the central region, Cape Coast to be precise, to find out how the Cape Coast cluster of soap makers, one of the indigenous industries in the region, has benefited from SDF funding.
The Cape Coast cluster of soap makers is one of such groups established in November 2010 to provide technical and economic support to their members. The cluster has a membership of 30 comprising only women who are involved in liquid and cake soap production using traditional technology and resources in the Cape Coast municipality.
Cape Coast cluster of soap was formed because I realized individuals were making soap, but it was not of any good quality. So I asked them to come together so that we look for a resource person from somewhere to come and teach us quality so that we get the market. 2010. The cluster membership started from 5 people, and then it was growing and growing and growing. At the moment we have about 85 group, which the training requirements, we can't put all of them together. That's why we want to have a 25 member group, and then they will serve as resource persons to the larger group. Sometimes when we mix up with men, they tend to subdue us, and so we decided to try this thing on our own, and when we are gaining grounds, then we invite our men to also come and have a look at what we are doing if they are so much interested then. The cluster activities include empowering the women in social life styles, sometimes policies of the country which we are far away from, we seem not to be interested, but it concerns us. So we invite personnel from the Coordinating Council, NCCE, to come and give a talk on policies.
Two major challenges of the cluster has been the lack of adequate skills and know-how in the soap hardening techniques to meet the increasing market for locally produced bar soap and limited skills on applying long-lasting fragrance in soap production. Due to the limited know-how on especially how to produce hardened soap efficiently, each of their members spends an average of 1 week to produce a batch of 220 pieces of hardened soap, compared to 3 days for other skilled soap producers in the local industry. This affected the timely production of soap to meet the demand of customers.
The cluster challenges were so many, but the few I know was that the soap, it is not of quality. The fragrance, because we don't get good source to buy the chemicals. You know, African person always buys something and straight it goes to the nose to smell to see if it smells nice, and also the texture. So we saw that we're not just doing anything, we can't compete with the market. So we are always behind, we go behind closed doors, and also from home to home, our family members were those patronizing our goods because it is not of good quality. The hardening is not there, fragrance is very low, and the texture as well. And then how to manage it totally was one of, these are some of the challenges that we were facing. You see it very big, but the moment you dip it in water, in no time it dissolves. And that was the time that it wasn't just the odoko, so we were trying to catch up, but the quality, the mixture, those chemicals that we put together to harden. It doesn't need to go to sun. We don't put the soap in the sun. But quality chemicals combination hardens it. And that wasn't there. Yes, sometimes we tend to reduce it so that it will just go off. Then we'll be able to buy our children's needs and also manage the home.
The limited skills in fragrance application in soap making did not make locally produced soap attractive to new entrants in the market. It also limited the competitiveness of soap produced by the cluster with imported soap. The consequences of both challenges reduced the profitability of their businesses and limited their earnings.
Since we use local soap in the day, say you use local soap now. And one now, a mimez bandemi, a chromofana na water, inti, so no ye nejuma, na me motor nazana, na wing is can was able to musumizinibi. Inti, some ya da man and him there, murmur no sejuma, no so wa, mamusume juma na kodo, to the minty no ma, me use local soap. Oh, ye home, and say, your friend, ya war, a year way was a gum. Fragrance was a bribia was a gum. Inti, say Zuguma, don't do as a boguman. No, Bamazi, no, mamma, Bensi, nine door wearing, a bayan ye, Mazi biara over there, or ye day, one was a fee, Amanazabano, or by a damara. Insini ye, and or the yeshe, Nahana ye.
If ever there is one driver which can propel our country to full-scale developed status, then it is through quality skills training. On that front, the Council for Technical and Vocational Education and Training, COTVET, through a Skills Development Fund, is spearheading that agenda in Ghana.
Who is going to provide the service?
And our main focus has been on mass production of garments.
There was a lot of talk about Sakawa. Are you able to use these same processes to also apprehend people?
That is correct.
Our research showed that Ghana was at number 8 in the world when it comes to cybercrime.
On this program, we shall open up the SDF to you.
So SDF is here to support businesses to train their staff to be very productive.
All that we're trying to do is to build a very solid human capital base.
We shall profile beneficiaries of SDF.
We are now even positioned to train about 400 workers.
We give them $276,000. There is a fund from which we are giving grants to businesses to address these challenges.
You develop these moringa plants into products like soap, creams. Okay. My name is Albert Ankra and I bring you SDF Diaries. Make a date with me on GTV. SDF is an initiative of the Government of Ghana with support from the World Bank and Danida.